If you are a believer who struggles with anxiety, I have a word for you. I am one who has experienced anxiety for the majority of my life. And if you're anything like me, you say things like, my anxiety gets so bad. My anxiety goes from 0 to 100 really quick. My anxiety this, my anxiety that. And if you are a child of God, I want to challenge you on how you describe the experience you have with anxiety. Our words have a lot of power, and the scripture says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I think that's how it goes. When you say things like my anxiety and my depression, you're coming into agreement with these things. And if you look at the definition of anxiety, you will see that fear is involved in the definition of that. And if you look at 2 Timothy 1:7, it says that God did not give us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of love and a sound mind. So when you say things like, my anxiety gets so bad, you come into agreement with fear. You come into agreement with things that God did not meant for you to have. The scriptures say that the Lord is our portion. So I don't want to negate the experience that we all have with anxiety. I struggle with anxiety still. Instead of saying my anxiety, I say things like, yeah, I struggle with anxiety, or I experience anxiety in this situation. I try not to say my, because that means I'm coming into agreement with something that God never meant for me to come into agreement with. What you do want to come into agreement with are the fruits of the Spirit. That means love, joy, peace, forbearance, long-suffering, kindness. I think I'm missing a few more. But this is how I've learned to combat anxiety. And this is how I've learned not to claim what isn't mine. And it's given me empowerment over situations where I do experience anxiety. I remind myself that God did not give me a spirit of fear. One, I find the trigger, what's triggering the feeling of anxiety that I am experiencing in the moment. And then I go through scriptures. If you are a child of God, you shouldn't say things like my anxiety or my depression, because these are not things of God. These are not gifts of God. These are actually curses from the enemy. And so as a child of God, you have an inheritance. You have a portion. Your portion is the Lord. He will rescue you. He will hide you under his wing, and he will give you peace. I just want to challenge you guys in that if you struggle with anxiety, instead of saying my anxiety, say things like I struggle with anxiety, or I experience anxiety in this situation. And I really hope it helps.